What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm. So I don't want to make a doom and gloom video, but I want to start off with reality. And I know a lot of people don't watch the news anymore, this and that, but something that's been on my mind here lately is inflation. And I'm not going to get into government, politics, all that type of stuff, but the other day we made a video about mixing our own feed. We bought different kinds of feed. We buy goat feed in bulk, which is a feed that is safe to feed all the species of animals on our farm. And by buying in bulk, you save a little bit of money. And that's what I want to kind of talk about. I want to update back to that video because I told you guys I was going to tell you the prices, and I just absolutely forgot in that video. So let's get into that. So last year at this time, we weren't buying the bulk feed last year at this time, but the last time we bought it before summer last time, a ton of feed was about 9 cents a pound. Now it's almost 16 cents a pound. So you guys can do the math. A ton is 2,000 pounds. 9 cents a year ago, 15 to 16 cents now. That's a big increase. And if you look around, as you know, we do not have any grass. The goats and all of the livestock around this whole area, pretty much in Oklahoma and Texas, we are in a pretty bad drought. We're having 100+ degree days, and it's just burning up the grass. So where I'm getting at is, for those of you that do have social media accounts, for those of you that watch the news and stuff like that, this isn't a doom and gloom. Like I said, this is reality. Are we going to be forced to sell off our goat herd? And I've kind of touched this on the past. Luckily, we were able to secure enough hay bales to get our goats through the wintertime. With current situations like it is, a lot of people are already feeding hay to their livestock, like cows, sheep, and goats. Luckily, we have a lot of brush here. We still got a lot of dead grass that the goats can eat and be fine on for a while, so we're not feeding the hay just yet. But on social media, on Facebook, and other platforms, I have been seeing all these videos where these sale barns, I follow a lot of sale barns and stuff throughout the United States, kind of keep up with the goat prices and stuff. And here recently, guys, they are having record-breaking numbers of people hauling in livestock. So what that means is they're having record numbers of livestock coming through the sale barn, like unheard of. They've never seen this happen before. And that means a few things. So let's talk about cattle. A lot of the videos I've been seeing here lately are cattle, and southern Oklahoma, all over Texas, there's a lot of cattle farms. Well, cattle have to have a lot of water. They got to have grass or hay. Well, a lot of these people are not even able to get hay, and they can't afford the inflated prices of the feed to keep the cows. So they're loading up the cows and hauling them off. They don't have a choice. It's either sell them or let the cows starve to death. So they got to kind of take what they can get while they can get it. The bad thing about that is, oh, they're selling their cows, they're going to make a lot of money. Well, everybody down there is selling their cattle. So what's that do to the prices? It floods the market. Therefore, it drops the price of whatever commodity or livestock you're selling. In this case, it's the cattle. Now, on average, they would have 200 head of cattle come through a sale barn at night. Now they're having 1,000 come through the sale barn at night. It changes the price drastically. And then that kind of leads to the next discussion. Meat. A lot of people don't raise their own meat. I understand that. A lot of people live in the city, and some people just can't do it, whether they're elderly or whatever reason. They can't raise their own meat. And I think the price, this is just me thinking out loud, I think the prices of the beef in the supermarkets and grocery stores, since the market is flooded right now, all these feedlots are just buying all these cows because the sale barns are loaded. They can get cheap cattle right now, and they can hold them on their feedlots. Eventually, I think the stores are going to be overran with beef and chicken, all kinds of meat products. I think the prices are going to come down a little bit, but when they come down, you guys better stock your freezers, because I'm guessing, I'm just throwing this out there, in about 6 months from now, after all these people sell off, their cattle and their beef and stuff like that, where are all these butchers and feedlots and all these people that process the beef for the supermarkets, where are they going to get their livestock to supply the food chain and the stores and all that? I mean, I think it's going to be, if times get better, which we're supposed to be getting some rain, hopefully this week we're supposed to get like 3 days of rain. That's what we need. Hopefully that will prolong everyone having to sell off their livestock, and hopefully there's enough to keep all the stores from running out in 6 months. But right now everybody's selling off at once, and it's not good. I don't know in my lifetime if this has ever happened. We've never been a big time cattle farm. We've raised a few, but we never really stayed with it for long because we only have 20 acres here and it's really brushy. So we determined that goats was better off to raise for our property, and they did a lot better than the cows did. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much where I wanted to go with this, just to give you guys a heads up. It is not good. It is not good at all. You guys know we've sold a few goats earlier this spring, and we got a manageable head to where it's not going to break us to be able to feed them. And if you guys caught that video a couple videos back, you know, we went to the feed store, I filled this up, got another 2,000 pounds. How long is this going to last? Well, usually feeding both herds of our goats, this will last us about a month and a half to 2 months. Well, you know, normally in the wintertime we are used to that, but in the summertime, this is the first time in the 15 or 16 years of us raising goats where we have had to supplement our animals with feed in the summertime. Normally we have lush pastures, we have trees or just limbs and everything that the goats browse on, and they have plenty of forage to eat on, and they're healthy. Right now our goats they're still healthy, they're not getting skinny, so they're still having enough to eat over here. We have not started grain feeding these goats. Now the ones we have been feeding over here is on the smaller pasture. We've been grain feeding them for probably 2 to 3 weeks now, and they're still looking fat and healthy. They look good. So as of right now, we have no intention of having to sell off our goat herd. I'm seeing a lot of videos and a lot of pictures from some other goat farmers I'm friends with from around the country. They're having to load up their stock trailers and just sell out. It's a sad deal. It's a good deal for people that are looking to get into goat farming. In the past week alone, we've had 5 people that wanted to buy out our goat herd, and they're calling us, said I had to sell my cattle. We had no food for our cattle, so we're gonna sell out. We got a lot of trees on our property. We're looking to buy goats. What would you take for your whole herd? And I'm like, well, they're not for sale. I mean, we're not looking to sell them by no means, and I have a bad feeling. I know we could get some good money for our goat herd right now, either one of them. Bad thing is, if you want to raise goats in the future, I don't think you're going to be able to easily replace them, because just like the cattle getting hauled off to the feedlots and stuff, I think the same thing is going to happen to the goats, the sheep, chickens. There's a lot of feed. There's a lot of meat chicken houses in our area, mostly in northwest Arkansas. We're in northeast Oklahoma. We're about 45 minutes from the Arkansas line. But once you get about 10, 15 miles from here heading towards Arkansas, all you smell and all you see are chicken houses. And even those chicken houses, they're having a hard time staying stocked. I don't know what the deal is with that, if it's just the inflated feed prices or what, but a lot of them, I'm hearing, are not even operating right now, so who knows. And luckily we got 25 meat chickens in the chicken tractor. Hopefully they make it through the summer with all this record heat we're getting. I don't know, so we're gonna have to wait and see. But anyways, it's feeding time. It's let's see, what time is it? It's about 8 o'clock at night. Temperature just now dropped under 100 degrees. We're like on our, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks of being over 100, it seems like. It's been about 107, 108. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about the temperatures, but it is what it is. So everybody's waiting on us to come feed. So let me get some feed. We'll go feed these dogs first. Like I said, we're not feeding these Kiko goats and Spanish goats because they still got a lot of trees and forage to eat. And let's get them fed, and then we'll head over to the Picos and check out the emus and the geese. All right, so we still got the 9 baby chicks that stay over here. So we always feed them before we feed everybody else. We just throw out some food, and that usually brings in a lot of the neighborhood chickens that just free range our property here. But it's important that we keep water out. We got water there, and we got bowls all around every side of our house that we keep out for all these little chicks, because it's important for them with these temperatures like it is to stay hydrated. So while we're on the topic of feed prices, let's throw in dog food prices. So usually we buy the Diamond High Energy dog food at Tractor Supply when we can find it. It's not always in stock. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's normally what we get. And in the last 8 months, it has went up $12 a bag. You know that? Can you count? You know what $12 is? Huh? That's how much it's went up. But you guys are important, because if it wasn't for the livestock guardian dogs, guess what? We wouldn't have goats, because the coyotes would eat them all. All right, let's get in here and feed them. Everybody across in the other pasture is yelling as loud as they can. Well, you know, Cora girl, Leesky man. All right, let's go. Let's go get your food. So I got their kibble in here. Got 4 fresh eggs. Now I want to show you something. What these eggs are doing. It's so hot right now. These chickens are laying these eggs, and we go out and collect them in the evening time. We don't get them early in the day because most of the hens don't lay until almost evening time. Here, Lise, get out here, go. But let me show you what these eggs. It's been so hot that they're just like super runny. Look at that. See what the yolk does? Lise, come eat, buddy. That one wasn't too bad. Come here, Lise. Come on. So since we've been feeding these dogs a lot later in the evening, it seems like they have a lot better appetite. Of course, I know I would when it's so hot like this. You know, a lot of times you don't get hungry, and sometimes you got to force dogs to eat. I know it sounds silly. A lot of people says dogs will eat anything. They'll eat as much as you give them. That is not true. With these working dogs, guys, a lot of times they won't eat unless you feed them when they feel like eating. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how they go. Sometimes they'll go days without eating, but they do, and it's a weird thing. But it's super important that they have their energy and stuff, because what if a herd of coyotes come up here and they had to fight them off or whatever? We always try to make sure their bellies are full. And Leesky, you can see he's kind of dirty. He's been laying over in the pond in the mud hole, staying cool every day. So I'm gonna sit here and let them eat and make sure the goats don't eat their food, and then we'll go feed Big Mo and all the birds over there. So you can see how they're still eating the grass. Just pulling it up. And we still got, you know, kind of pan around here, there's still a lot of grass to eat. It's just not lush and green anymore. So one cool thing about these free range chickens, and one thing I love about this breed right here, this is just a mixed breed, Old English and like a game hen that we've kind of, you know, raised over the years, kind of mixed them around and everything. Well, they're very hardy, and one thing that this mama hen has been teaching her chicks here is to eat all the seed heads on all this grass throughout the yard. They go through the pastures, they go everywhere. They're very resilient, and we probably wouldn't have to feed them much because they eat a lot of bugs and a lot of seeds and grass. You ready for dinner, big man? What do you know, Mo? Huh? You ready to go eat? He said, yeah, man, I've been hungry all day. He said, not really, it just now cooled down enough where I got my appetite. You ready to go eat? He said, yeah, what you got in there, man? He said, what you got in there? You're not camera shy today, are you? He said, no, I just want to be petted. Yeah, he's a good boy. Good boy. All right, let's go feed everybody and then we'll feed you. Come on. All right, meat chickens, we'll go check them out before we end the video, if I can remember. They grow super fast. I don't know if they grow quite as fast as quail and emu, but they grow very quick. Like I said, they're bred to get as big as possible in the least amount of time as possible. So, alright, here we got the angry mob. We got goats, chickens, everybody. Emu's running crazy. And a big white Great Pyrenees named Mojo. Right? Alright, let's feed the goats first, like always. Because if you don't, they're going to knock the bucket out of your hand anyways. Alright, Mo. Let me get these hangry goats out of the way. And then we'll come back and get you. Crazy goat. Get in on here, boy. So I gotta get the bird food first. Let's put Mo's food up here with the eggs so nobody knocks it over. Then we'll feed the birds while the goats are distracted at eating so they don't turn into vacuums and eat all the bird food. Here, Yoshi. Yoshi the emu. There, got the feed all spread out. The all species friendly feed. Big man's waiting on his now. He said, I'm okay with waiting. I know. I'm always last. Alright, Mo, come on, boy. Here to eat, buddy. How you want your eggs today? How about runny? It's so hot, these eggs, they get so hot that they just turn runny. The yolks and everything is just runny. We go right into the nest box, get them, you can crack them, and they're runny like immediately. It's crazy. Yoshi, man, what you know, brother? So I was telling everybody about the high prices of feed. You got any ideas how we can combat that? He said, no sir, just keep feeding us. He said, I don't care about the prices. I just want to grow. Yoshi, you got anything to say, brother? Say, brother. You might be a sister, I don't know. But you know, curly feathered goose. Guys, I wish you could reach out here and pet these geese so you would know just how soft their feathers are. It's amazing. That's Millie. Millie, what you doing, girl? She said, I'm gonna go eat by myself. Alright, so I'm gonna go freshen up their water real quick and then we'll go take a look at the broiler meat chickens. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Yoshi, you do not mess with Mojo's food. Yoshi said, I smell that dog food in there and it smelled really good. I'm surprised Mojo didn't grab him by the neck. You're a brave bird, you know that? That's a big dog with some big teeth. Oh, real quick, here's Betty's chicks. She's still got the 5 chicks. You can see how big they're getting. I think 4 of them are hens right there, and this black one on the left, I think, is a rooster. I'm not certain. What's your name? Then here's the rock and roll chicken. The headbanger. Alright, so while some of these water tanks are filling up, guys, this is the wild plum or the sand plum tree that we're always talking about. The one that blew over and then the wind blew it back over one day. So this is what they look like. I just had it focused and there's little bitty plums, smaller than my finger. That one has a worm in it, so I'll feed it to the chickens, see if they'll eat it. She didn't see it, I don't think. I got a good one right here. This one is a kind of a darker red one. I promise you, you don't want to eat one of the green ones. They're bitter. That one's not quite ready. You want them to be like a dark purple. Yeah. That's bitter. They gotta be purple and soft. If you bite into them when they're red and hard, they're bitter. Like eating a green persimmon, if you know what that is. Do you like them, Shadow? I can't remember if you like them or not. Let me get you one. Let's get Shadow one real quick. Let's see. Let's get her one that's not all the way right and see what she says. Shadow. Here, girl. Here. Look. You don't like it either? We gotta find somebody that'll eat it. Nope, not even the chickens. Huh. Guess they're smarter than I am. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the vacuum cleaners. When the goats finish all their food in the feed troughs, look what they do. They come out here and they try to find all the chickens' feed. And you can see why we spread it around all in this field. It makes it a lot more difficult for them just to eat it out of like one single point, like a bowl or something like that. So we try to spread it out that way the chickens get their bellies full. And of course, the goats and chickens aren't gonna find all this at one time. When they wake up in the morning, they're gonna come out here and start looking around, and they're gonna find grains of feed and corn and all that stuff. What'd you do, eat too much? Now you gotta sit down and take a rest, Yosh? What you know, man? Huh? What you know? All right, so let's go check out these meat chickens real quick before I forget, and we'll wrap the video up. So, talking about the feed prices, I want to hear some feedback. Are you a farmer that just had to sell out? Are you a farmer struggling like everyone else with the drought and the inflated prices on feed and hard to find hay? And if you can find it, it's like triple or quadruple prices than it was last year. I want to hear some feedback. Do you have neighbors? Do you have friends that are selling out of their livestock just because they simply cannot afford to feed them right now? The prices alone is a heavy hitter on farmers, and then you add in the drought and it just makes it that much worse. So thankfully we got our freezers full because last year we did some trading with Walker Farm Fam, and we traded a goat and they bought a buck off of us, and then we turned around and bought a half a steer from them and had it butchered, and so we got a lot of food still left over from that. Farm fresh. Bartering is the best way to do anything. And then we got 25 more of these guys. These are the Cornish Rock meat broiler chickens. These are all pullets, so those are girls. The kids are coming out multiple times a day, checking their feeders, giving them fresh water. And at night we still have their heat lamp on. We don't plug that in until dark because it is just too hot right now. And the last few nights I've been coming out here, I'd come out like at midnight just to check them, and then first thing in the morning to turn the light off. And most time they sleep over here in this corner or over here in this corner because it's already too hot and they don't want nothing to do with no heat lamp. But just in case one of them gets wet, or for some reason it happens to rain and one of them gets wet, at least they can get underneath that heat lamp and kind of get warm. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap the video up, and like I said, leave a comment down below. Do you personally know, or are you somebody that is impacted by these prices? And I hate to say it, but I think in about 6 months, I think everybody's gonna feel a little bit more of it in their wallet when they go to the store to buy stuff. I know a lot of people, everybody, even ourselves, when we go to the store buying anything, the inflated prices is just crazy. No matter what you're buying, whether it be bread, toilet paper, soap, meat, whatever, it's just insane. And I don't understand it, but it is what it is. And I think it's gonna get a lot worse here soon. So hopefully everybody's prepared. And like I said, I think the meat prices are gonna be really cheap here quick. So if you got an empty freezer, it's time to stock up, and hopefully you can hold on, have enough to outlast the bad times, and hopefully you don't have to worry about it. So anyways guys, subscribe if you will, and like this video, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.